Okay, so next question. What do you want to be as a child and why?
When I was a child, I think I really wanted to be a teacher. And it's because I've seen the impact of teachers in children's lives and in my life. I'd have wonderful teachers, and I was always admiring them. And I thought, oh, one day it would be nice to do that. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Okay. Moving on to the next question. Why did you want to work with UNICEF?
I think, there's nothing more noble than working for children. I have a real passion for that. And I really believe every single child, every part of the world deserves the same opportunity. So if I can be part of a much bigger movement for children, UNICEF is the place, yeah.
I agree. Okay. Next question is, during your time at UNICEF, what is the most touching children's story or situation that has stayed with you?
So I've been very privileged to work for UNICEF for, more than 20 years. Wow. So I've traveled quite a bit. And I'd say one of the things that really stayed with me was when I was visiting a refugee camp in Kenya, northern Kenya. And I saw children who were unaccompanied, meaning that they didn't know where their parents were as they crossed their borders. And they were young, they were 5, 6, 7-year-olds. And they were sitting in a play group. And I just was wondering what their life was like, not having that safety, that comfort, that love that we are also privileged to have. And I really felt that, we all need to be united to just be able to support these children, but children all over the world. So I think that image, their voices very much have stayed with me. Yeah.
So I know that a big part of your job is to advocate for the fulfillment of children's rights. Why is it so important for Indonesia to focus on this?
Whenever we talk about children's rights, we're actually talking about the future of a country. And if you look at Indonesia and you look at the very, very young population you have in Indonesia, giving the opportunity of every single child in Indonesia to grow up well, to have an education, to be safe, to be protected, means that they will grow up to be, I think, productive citizens, citizens who can innovate, contribute to development and society. So for the growth of Indonesia, for the wealth of Indonesia, for the development of Indonesia, invest in children.
Yeah. What are some of Indonesia's success stories with fulfilling children's rights? Can you share a little bit on that?
So I want to really say that Indonesia has done really, really well on several issues when it comes to children. Over the years, for example, we have many fewer children who are dying under the age of 5. Then we have, or Indonesia has, made a significant progress on reducing malnutrition. In terms of numbers of children going to school, most children in Indonesia, and such a big population, do go to school. And I think also when it comes to things like child marriage, over the years, Indonesia has done well. Of course, we still have a journey with all of these things, but I think we need to look at things in long-term perspective. And I think Indonesia is really doing well on several fronts. Here are just some examples.
Okay, now on the other hand, what are some of the country's biggest challenge in fulfilling children's rights?
So I think with a population like this, Indonesia is so vast and so diverse, right? So even when we say there is an overall improvement, there are pockets of Indonesia where we have children who are probably not doing so well. So we still have issues of malnutrition in several places. I think we have the issue of having clean water and sanitation for all. We do have the issue of having an education system that is responsive to the students and responsive to the future of Indonesia. And the country is doing the education transformation journey. I think when it comes to also looking at adolescents, we are seeing increasing issues like mental health issues, so we do need to keep a focus on that. So I think there is a wide range of issues where we still need to make progress, but we build on where Indonesia has done well and continue on that journey. Yeah.
What can teenagers and young people do to help ensure that every child's right will be fulfilled?
I think teenagers, I think you can look at knowledge as your superpower. So meaning that get informed, get educated, try to understand really what the situation of children is in this amazing country. So knowledge. I think the second is get active, use the knowledge for good, because you're forced to reckon with. You are a large number of this population, and if you come together on certain issues, I think you can make a difference. And I think the third is really be out there, be brave, be bold, and connect with others as well, so that you can be, as they say, you can be the change you want to see. Right. Yeah. So I think you have a lot that you can do, and you are already doing. Yeah. Just encourage more people, more of your peers to come in.
When you are visiting communities in Indonesia, what do you like most and enjoy when interacting with children?
So first of all, I want to say you have an amazing country. Like, it is just amazing. The diversity, the richness, the kindness, wherever I've gone. And I have actually in my 1.5 years been able to visit at least 8 to 10 places, because I think it's important to understand the country. But wherever I go, there's a few common things that when it comes to children. And first of all, just their innocence, just the hope, the curiosity. That is something that is so common, and you can see that no matter where you go, they're curious, they want to learn, they want to understand, and it's such an opportunity. So I love that. No matter whether it's from one side of Indonesia to the other, let's say from Aceh to Jayapura, across, and every place in between, I see that. And let me also say, amongst the young people, I see so much talent. It's amazing. There's so much talent, and wanting to support, wanting to help. The spirit is just wonderful. So it's a great country. Yeah.
Okay. What do you think is the most pressing concern regarding child's right nowadays?
I think I'll answer that not about Indonesia, but what's happening in the world. I think we all can see over the last few years, we're seeing so many crises in different parts of the world. Last year, and we were talking about the war in Ukraine, currently the situation in Gaza, and there's so many others. I could say Yemen, Afghanistan, Sudan. I could name so many other places where there is conflict. And the tragedy here is that the children are always the innocent victims of this, and their lives are being completely upturned. It's just really, really painful to see, first of all, that children are dying in these conflicts. Secondly, the suffering and trauma that they're going through, and those who need help, medical help and others, are not able to get it. So I think the world as it is at the moment, in many places, is a very, very, very difficult place for children. But we have to have hope, and we have to continue to advocate for what is right. And I would say a second issue, which is maybe not in that way as, let's say, dramatic immediately, yet we're feeling the consequences, is climate crisis. I won't even call it climate change, but I'll call it climate crisis. And I think there are many parts of the world where, again, things that were working well for children, now we're starting to see a reverse because of what's happening, because of the climate crisis, right? So please, as young people, continue to speak out, continue to demand the future that you believe, you deserve.
Okay, last question. What are your hopes for children in Indonesia and all around the globe for this World Children's Day commemoration?
In in UNICEF, we have this phrase, every right for every child, or for every child, every right, whichever way you want to say it, right? And that's my hope. It sounds simple, but I think it is huge and it is deep. And that means that, every child that is being born right now or today, first of all, stays healthy, free from malnutrition, is kept in a safe environment, has the opportunity of an education, can speak out, can voice their opinion. So that's really my hope, that no matter where you are, no matter who you are, no matter which family you're born to, doesn't matter. You arrive on this earth with those rights. And so, yes, for every child, every right.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Maniza.
Great, well, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. That was really nice.
Yay!
Because they told me that it's all the young people. I was like, okay. I've done the formal kinds of interviews, but this was lovely. So thanks a lot.